U.S. labor laws. That's how they can fill those cruises with a crew and staff, waiters and waitresses, cleaning people that are not subject to U.S. labor law.
Do those individuals, Uber, do they sign a W-2 or something like that?
1099.
W-9? Not 1099, yeah. Do they?
1099, yeah.
Okay. That says everything.
Because they work when they want to work, and they use their own vehicle. And they can drive for both companies if they wanted to.
I'm still on the fence about whether you need to use your own equipment or not. I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, me as an independent contractor who does audio work, most of the time I'm not using my own audio equipment. Maybe like one or two things. Okay, like mixing boards. I'm not dragging a mixing board to a venue. The venue has the mixing board. I just mix. So me using that equipment, does that make me their employee because I'm not? They don't pay my taxes.
I answer that. What state are you in?
You know the state I'm in. Look at my jersey. Look at my jersey. What does it remind you of? New York.
Okay, I don't know the laws of New York. I can only speak to California.
So I will say this. I will, me being front of house sound engineer, I mean, it's the world that I live in. If you go to the same venue, and you, let's say it's a house.
How many hours a week do you go to the same venue?
That's what I'm getting at. So this has come up in Texas, where you have a 6 hours a week. You know, you got to be there. Band loads in at 4 o'clock. They do 2 sets, and they're done at 10. So the sound engineer, he's got to be there for 2 o'clock to 11 o'clock. 2 o'clock to sound check, and they leave at 11 o'clock. He's going to get paid probably $250, $300 a show. Now, if that's your routine gig that you're doing 5 days a week, then in the state of Texas, you're generally...
So you're at the same venue 40 hours a week, yes?
That's correct.
You're
That's right. Now, if you're being hired out by different venues, or if you're touring, hey, I've seen this with artists, where you have that's getting paid let's say an average, let's say $300 a show. On the professional side, it's $1,000 a show. So what you see is, when you have the John Doe musician touring with, let's just use a dead person, Elvis Presley. So John Doe musician is touring with Elvis Presley. Elvis does 100 shows a year, and John Doe plays bass, and Elvis pays John Doe $1,000 a show. It's $100,000. He's an employee. That's the reason why you see a lot of these bands now will have these lead singers will have their musicians on retainer. So George Strait is going to pay his musicians, let's say $150,000 a year, regardless if they play 1 show or 5,000 shows a year. Because you never want to get popped by the Texas Workforce Commission or the federal government, because they don't fuck around with payroll taxes. These fiduciary taxes, they take your money first in property, and then they ask questions later.
Yeah, you can look at the IRS code, you can look at the state code, you can look at employment law. The number one issue is always control. If you're showing up at a place 40 hours a week, it doesn't matter if you're bringing your own equipment or not. If you're showing up 10 hours a week and showing up to 4 different places 10 hours a week, then it arguably matters. But if the majority of your income, or if all of your income is coming from one place, and you're showing up there 40 hours a week, you're an employee.
You know, I think we all should be paid as independent contractors, because what that would force every citizen in this country to do is to get out that damn checkbook and write that check to the federal government. The same check to the federal government that's being written anyways. The problem is they do a little bit of a sleight of hand. The government does. What they do is they take it out of your paycheck. So you know your paycheck's gonna be $2,200 every paycheck.
So you don't think that employers should be responsible for paying for employees that get injured on the job, because all employees should be independent contractors?
Yeah, that will fail real quick.
Okay,
You also, if I may, you don't think that employers should pay for 50% of payroll taxes to the state where that job is taking place, because all employees are independent contractors?
here's my point. I would misspoke, and I apologize.
No, I was just asking a question.
Don't back down.
Let me back down what I said. Here's what I meant to say. I wish everybody would get paid their gross payroll. Meaning, when they got paid their gross payroll, that they would have to take their checkbook out, and they go online, and they would have to send the money to the federal government for the taxes. They'd have to send money to the Social Security for those taxes. That's what my point is. It will make a lot of people Republicans.
And no disrespect, but you want the government more involved in your business than it already is, i.e. a portion or percentage of that check should go to the government automatically, right?
I hate big government, but I'm saying.
Just asking.
I'm just saying, instead of the employer paying all your taxes out of your paycheck every month, like your taxes and all that, the state taxes, I wish people had this.
Well, on that, I'm gonna tell you why that's a bad idea.
Can you believe these motherfucking losers sit there and waste their bullshit with this? It's unbelievable. It's fucking disgraceful.
Feels like a dream, feels like magic. Girl, I believe I can have.
Shop like a billionaire.
Thrill with the lissom lust of the light, O man, my man, come careening out of the night. Of Pan, Eopan, 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 come over the sea from Sicily and from Arcady, roaming as Bacchus with fawns and pods. And nymphs and satyrs for thy gods, on a milk-white ass, come over the sea, to me, come with Apollo in bridal dress, shepherdess and pythoness. Come with Artemis, silken shod, and wash thy white thigh, beautiful god, in the moon of the woods, on the marble mount. The dimpled dawn of the amber fount, to the purple of passionate prayer in the crimson shrine. The soul that startles in eyes of blue, to watch thy wantonness weeping through the tangled grove, the gnarled bole of the living tree that is spirit and soul, and body and brain come over the sea. Eopan, Eopan, devil or god, to me, come with drums low muttering from the spring, come with flute and come with pipe. Am I not ripe, I, who wait and writhe and wrestle with air that hath no boughs to nestle my body? Weary of empty clasp, strong as a lion and sharp as an asp. Come, oh come, I am numb with the lonely lust of devildom. Thrust the sword through the galling fetter, all devourer, all begetter, give me the sign of the open eye, and the token erect of thorny thigh, and the word of madness and mystery. O Pan, Eopan, Eopan, Pan, 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 I am a man, do as thou wilt, as a great god can. O Pan, Eopan, 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 Pan, I am awake in the grip of the snake. The eagle slashes with beak and claw. The gods withdraw, the great beasts come. Eopan, I am born to death on the horn of the unicorn. I am Pan, Eopan, Eopan, Pan. I am thy mate, I am thy man, goat of thy flock, I am gold. I am God, flesh to thy bone, flower to thy rod. With hoofs of steel I race on the rocks, through solstice stubborn to equinox. I rave, and I rape, and I rip, and I rend, everlasting, world without end. Mannequin, maiden, maiden, man, in the might of Pan, Eopan, Eopan, Pan, Eopan, Eopan.
Hello.
Mr. Stumpy,
Not Tumbi, it's a Topi.
what's up?
MRC Topi.
What is up, brother?
What the fuck? You copied my accent.
Hello?
Hello? You copied my accent.
You copied my accent.
What the fuck?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
How do you know? Where am I from?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Okay. Guess. Guess my ass.
Guess your ass?
Guess my accent. Guess my accent.
And
Where
yes,
I am
lover
from.
by Aleister Crowley.
It'll be okay.
I have an idol wrought of stainless gold, before whose feet I bow, in whose delight I am content to live, whose spells of light are smiles that gleam, are tears that glisten cold, and the fair cheek that blushes if I praise, are warm, ripe kisses in the softer hours, when love is perfect blossom of sweet flowers, are shadow glances of pure love light rays from clear blue eyes. Our wonderful caresses when love is golden autumn of sweet fruit. What other worship can usurp my days when I may lie amid her sunny tresses, enraptured by the music of her lute? One long, calm love, one heart's delight, always. Bright spheres of heaven, firefly gleams, fair ghosts, laugh lightly to the silver globe of night that glitters on green fields and on the sea. Ripples break foamless where the golden coasts echo their mellow cadence. Such delight is on me, I would fain sigh into sleep, until my love comes forth to dream with me of silent words of love and peopled stars, where we may live and love and never weep, nor yet be weary. The last ruby bars are sunk beneath the sea. The shadows creep more on me as I quicken with desire. My love is all of gold, my faith is deep, lit with my heart's imperishable fire. Pale spectres of the stars, corpse lights, bad ghosts, sicken the icy glamour of the moon upon the vacant earth, and where the sea marshals sepulchral billows, obscene hosts of harpies gibber weirdly, I should swoon, for the silence rolled not some dread minstrelsy in fearful anguish on the shuddering air, breathing out terror and lightning to the night that wildly echoes back hell's venomous spite, and shrieks aloud the watchword of despair, to draw each pain-racked nerve more tense and grey, for I am alone, unloved in murk and gloom, unloved, unfriended, fittest for the tomb, who worshipped golden feet and found them clay. She creeps alive upon the tawny sands, false, glittering woman, girt about with lies. She steals towards me, the tigress sleek and fierce, destroying devil with long, sinuous hands, and hate triumphant in blue, murderous eyes. I nerve myself to spring upon and pierce with maddening fangs those firm, white bosom towers, to tear those lithe, voluptuous limbs apart, and glut my ravening soul with vengeance. Heart quickens as she draws near. The scent of flowers breathes around her damned presence. She shall live to triumph with those tainted lips of song. She whispered, "Dearest, I have kept thee long." I flung myself before her. Love, forgive. Messalina by Alistair Crowley. Beneath the living cross I lie, and swoon towards eternity. Prodigious, sinuous shapes and lean, and curving limbs of Messalina. The deep arched eyes, the floating mane, one pierces, one wraps in my brain. A crown of thorn, a spear of clean, cold fire of dying Messalina. Swart tangles of devouring hair, the scorpion labyrinth and snare, leprous entanglements of sense, the imminence of the immense. And in the deep, hard breath I draw, kissed from her strangling mouth and more, I feel the floating deaths that dwell about the citadel of hell. A soft lewd flavor, an obscene, mysterious self of Messalina. Or in the kisses that swoop low, to catch my breath and kill me so. I feel the ghostliness of this unreal shuttle game, the kiss. Her moving body sobs above, and calls its lechery true love. Out from the flame of heart she plucks one flower of fiery light, and sucks its essence up within her lips, and flings it into mine and dips, and bends her body, writhes and swims, to link the velvet of our limbs. My drowsy passion worn and keen, and lusty life of Messalina. The heart's blood in her boiling over, she sucked from many a dying lover. The purple of her racing veins leapt from some soul's despairing pains. She drinks up life as from a cup. She drains our health and builds it up into her body, takes up our breath, and we dream not it is death. Arm to arm and eye to eye, breast to great breast and thigh to thigh, we look and strain and laugh and die. I see the head hovering above, to swoop for cruelty or love. I feel the swollen veins below, the knotted throat, the ebb and flow of blood, not milk in breasts of fire, of deaths, not fluctuance of desire, of molten lava that abides deep in the vast of volcanic sides, deep scars where kisses once bit in, below young mountains that be twin stigmata, cruciform of sin, the diary of Messalina. The moving mountains, crater ground, the valleys deep and silver bound, the girdle treacherously wound, one violet-crested mounded mole, some blood stain filtered from the soul, the light and shadow shed between my soul and God from Messalina. And even as a dark and hidden furnace claws out in woods forbidden, a sullen tide of molten steel runs from deep furrows in the wheel. So from afar one central heat sends the loud pulse to fever beat. So from one crown and heart of fire spring the vast phantoms of desire, impossible and epicene, familiar souls of Messalina. And as when thunder broods afar, imperial destinies of war, men see the haze and heat and feel the sun's rays like a shaft of steel. Seeing no sun, even so the night clouds that deep miracle from sight. Until this destiny be done, hangs the corona on the sun, and I absorbed in those unclean, ghost-haunted veins of Messalina.
Exposing fake games with fake ads, part 1. Okay, I just downloaded this game, and this is the first level it put me.
The Book of Lies by Alistair Crowley, Chapter 0 through 50. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit
LibriVox.org. AA publication in classes C and D. Official for Babes of the Abyss. Imprimatur in Freighter AA. Liber 333. The Book of Lies, which is also falsely called Breaks. The wanderings or falsifications of the one thought of Freighter Perdurabo, which thought is itself untrue. Break, break, break at the foot of thy stones, O sea. I would that I could utter the thoughts that arise in me. Question mark. Exclamation point. Chapter 0. The chapter that is not a chapter. Oh, the anti-primal triad which is not God. Nothing is, nothing becomes, nothing is not. The first triad which is God. I am. I utter the word. I hear the word. The abyss. The word is broken up. There is knowledge. Knowledge is relation. These fragments are creation. The broken manifests light. The second triad, which is God. God the Father and Mother is concealed in generation. God is concealed in the whirling energy of nature. God is manifest in gathering, harmony, consideration, the mirror of the sun and of the heart. The third triad, bearing, preparing, wavering, flowing, flashing, stability, begetting. The 10th emanation, the world. Chapter 1, the Sabbath of the Goat. Oh, the heart of Nox, the night of Pan. Pan, duality, energy, death. Death, begetting, the supporters of O. To beget is to die. To die is to beget. Cast the seed into the field of night. Life and death are two names of A. Kill thyself. Neither of these alone is enough. Chapter 2. The Cry of the Hawk. Hur hath a secret fourfold name. It is, do what thou wilt. 4 words, not one, many, all. Thou child, thy name is holy, thy kingdom is come, thy will is done. Here is the bread, here is the blood. Bring us through temptation, deliver us from good and evil. That mine as thine be the crown of the kingdom, even now. Abrahadabra. These 10 words are for the name of the one. Chapter 3, the oyster. The brothers of AA are one with the mother of the child. The many is as adorable to the one as the one is to the many. This is the love of these. Creation, parturition, is the bliss of the one. Coition, dissolution, is the bliss of the many. The all, thus interwoven of these, is bliss. Naught is beyond bliss. The man delights in uniting with the woman. The woman in parting from the child. The brothers of AA are women. The aspirants to AA are men. Chapter 4, Peaches. Soft and hollow, how thou dost overcome the hard and full. It dies, it gives itself. To thee is the fruit. Be thou the bride, thou shalt be the mother hereafter. To all impressions thus, let them not overcome thee, yet let them breed within thee. The least of the impressions, come to its perfection, is Pan. Receive 1,000 lovers, thou shalt bear but one child. This child shall be the heir of Fate the Father. Chapter 5. The Battle of the Ants. That is not which is. The only word is silence. The only meaning of that word is not. Thoughts are false. Fatherhood is unity disguised as duality. Peace implies war. Power implies war. Harmony implies war. Victory implies war. Glory implies war. Foundation implies war. Alas for the kingdom wherein all these are at war. Chapter 6. Caviar. The word was uttered. The one exploded into 1,000 million worlds. Each world contained 1,000 million spheres. Each sphere contained 1,000 million planets. Each planet contained 1,000 million stars. Each star contained a many thousand million things. Of these the reasoner took 6, and, preening, said, "This is the one and the all." These 6 the adept harmonized, and said, "This is the heart of the one and the all." These 6 were destroyed by the master of the temple, and he spake not. The ash thereof was burnt up by the magus into the word. Of all this did the Ipsissimus know nothing. Chapter 7. The Dinosaurs. None are they whose number is 6, else were they 6 indeed. Are these 6 that live